Hello. Okay, the name of this project is liquid chemical fertilizer using Nitrobacter and nitrogen. Okay, before that, I would like to show you my team members. Okay, the firstly is Ahmad Fikri bin Madlan. It's me. Okay, after that, Siti Nur Zuraida Aini. And then Masita binti Jamaluddin, Syahadan Abdul Manan, and the last is Shermon Chia. Okay, my team members that struggled in making this project until success. And do not forget also the supervisor of this team, Sir Bilal Mokhtar. He always gives support and idea for this project. Okay, we go to the intro.
Assalamualaikum and selamat sejahtera. Saya Masita binti Jamaluddin from DPE002. So today I will present our FYP, and our topic is liquid chemical fertilizing using Nitrobacter and nitrogen. So first, introduction. Today, growing a plant using the fertilizers are pretty common. It's aimed to accelerate the growth of the plant as well as to ensure the plants grow fresh. But some fertilizer use some of steel in fertilizing to be an ingredient, so that can give a dramatic impact on soil, such as it can damage the soil fertility. Then we try to solve the problem by introduce our liquid chemical products using Nitrobacter and nitrogen, where it can maintain plant fertility and maintain soil freshness. Next problem statement. Normal fertilizer in long period will produce acid in soil that can make microorganisms in soil dead. Second, normal fertilizer will make soil and can cause a plant become poison that can harm animal and human. Is objective. First, to identify fertilizer reaction to crop growth. So this shows that root growth and distribution were altered to the point that water and nutrient uptake and the plant growth and yield. It was to reduce when soil strengths reach critical levels due to natural or induced compaction. That research formed the basis for our current knowledge concerning the effects of compaction on root growth and the elevation of compaction through soil and tillage management. Second, to test the effectiveness of root growth result in soil. It is to aid in the diagnosis of plant culture problems, to improve the nutritional balance of the growing media, and to save money and conserve energy by applying only the amount of fertilizer needed. Said pH value of materials. First materials is urea. Urea is to provide the plants with nitrogen to promote green leafy growth and make the plant lush. The value for urea is pH for urea is 3.6 to 7.2 for the fertilizer commonly used. But in the table, pH value for urea is 5. So the pH value is matched for the fertilizer. Second is muriate of potash, also known as potassium chloride, contains 60% potash. Potash is essential for plant growth and quality. It is also protect against protect against drought by maintaining plants water content, which in turn is a benefit for photosynthesis as leaves maintains their shape or vigor. So the pH value for potash is 7 in our fertilizer. Next is triple superphosphate. Triple superphosphate is made from the highest quality rock phosphate and rendered into a form that is easily taken up by plants. It was used to make sugar during photosynthesis and encourage healthy root, flower, and fruit development. So the pH value for triple superphosphate is 4.7 to 9.8. In our table, pH value for triple superphosphate is 6.5. So it is very okay for the fertilizer that we make. Next is Nitrobacter. Nitrobacter are mainly used in the process of biological denitrification. This species from autotrophic microorganism, inorganic autotrophic bacteria such as autotrophs, are different from heterotrophic microorganism using organic carbon as nutrition, or organic heterotrophic bacteria heterotrophs, which gain energy from inorganic nitrogen oxidation and synthesis cells with carbon dioxide. So the Nitrobacter pH value for Nitrobacter is 8.3 to 9.3, but our pH value for Nitrobacter is 73. Even though it doesn't achieve the perfect value of Nitrobacter pH value, but it also gives a good reaction for our fertilizer. So the pH value of materials that we use can give a reaction that we want to make a fertilizer for Kailan in our experiment. So even though it's even not achieve a perfect pH value for the like other fertilizer, but our Kailan have a good condition, and in growth in a good condition.
Hi, my name is Siti Nazureda Aini, and for scope of the research, the product can be used for a farmer at Polytechnic Kuching, and this product only can be used for crop in a small quantity. Okay, which is mean it only can be used for small quantities of plant. It can apply for those small quantities of plant, and it also suitable for those who like to plant decorated plants or such as small plants like chili, kailan, vegetable. Okay. For methodology, we will divide in two sections. First, in section A, which is nitrogen fertilizer. Firstly, we will add 460 ml of water into the bottle, and it is a simple sample. So, and then second is we will add triple superphosphate 10 ml in the sample, and we will also add 10 ml of muriate potash, and we also add nitrogen and which is 10 ml in the sample. So after it done, we will keep it for a week. So for the section B, which is Nitrobacter fertilizer. Firstly, we will add 450 milliliter of water in the bottle. So we will apply 200 gram of brown sugar in the same bottle. We also add 20 milliliter of Nitrobacter, and we will apply 10 ml of urea. So we will keep it for a week, same goes section A. After a week, we will only take 70% from section A and 30% from section B. So we will mix it together, and we will apply only 20 ml of fertilizer that have been mixed together to the plant. Okay. Firstly, first experiment, we failed to get the result, and we do it again from the start, which is from the section A and section B, and we apply it again 20 ml of fertilizer to the plant. So it became success, and so we just get the reading of the growing plant every week. So okay, for the result is, as you can see from the result, we have done an experiment on kailan to see how it grow by use liquid chemical fertilizer using Nitrobacter and nitrogen. Okay, we divide it into part, which is first in the vase 1, which is it content of the soil that have been fertilizer, and the second is the soil that doesn't apply any fertilizer on it. So the type of plant we use is kailan. Okay, in first day, both of plant that we apply doesn't give any reaction, but on the second day, the soil that we have apply a fertilizer give a reaction, which is it increase height in 2 milliliter, and in the next day or in the third day also it increase in 5 milliliter. But the soil that we doesn't have apply any fertilizer, it doesn't have any reaction, which is in first day until third day, but in the fourth day it give a reaction, but only increase in 1 milliliter. Okay, after a week, the plant that have been applied the fertilizer have been increased in 18 milliliter, but the soil that doesn't apply any fertilizer, it also increased, but only 8 milliliter.
Okay, we go to the result and discussion. Okay, firstly, we see the nitrogen fertilizer. What is content in the nitrogen fertilizer? Okay, firstly, triple super phosphate. It is TSP. And after that, K2O, muriate of potash. It is MOP. And then water, sugar, and urea. Okay, leave it for a week. After that, we go to the Nitrobacter. Okay, the Nitrobacter have a content. It is chicken fertilizer, sugar, urea, and water. Okay, and this leave it for a week, and then after this, after 1 week, we mix it with a formula, and then it is liquid chemical fertilizer using Nitrobacter and nitrogen. Type of nutrient parameter. Okay, firstly, we look at 3 important components that provide essential nutrient to plant. That is nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Besides that, we look at the material we use for our experiment. We use urea, muriate of potash, triple super phosphate, and the last is Nitrobacter. Okay, do you know what is content of urea? Okay, the urea content in the nitrogen is 46%, and for urea content about phosphorus is 0, and potassium is 0. Okay, we go to the muriate of potash. Okay, the content of muriate of potash is nitrogen 0, phosphorus 0, and potassium 60%. Okay, we go to the material of triple superphosphate. Okay, we see the nitrogen have 18% and phosphorus 46%, and then potassium is 0%. Okay, and the last we see the Nitrobacter. For the Nitrobacter have a content nitrogen 0.9% and phosphorus 0.5, and potassium have a 1.7%. Okay, about this parameter, we can see this parameter in the graph. Okay, type of nutrient. Okay, we see the black line and the green line. Okay, so we can know about the parameter type.
Okay, if you look on the right, you can see the situation of the soil after 3 days. And on the 3rd day, the situation more clearly indicate the soil in which the fertilizer is placed is more fertile than the soil that is not fertilized. As evidence, as we see, the plain is the area of fertilized soil are larger if compared to the plant in the soil that is not fertilized. Mean the plant on the place that on the soil that have fertilized is more fresh than the plant on the soil that not fertilized. Okay. Next, on the 7th day, the plant difference were very noticeable and proved to bring the soil in the fertilized are fresher than the soil in the uncultivated area. We'll present about the ideal ratio of those nutrients for plant. Okay, the material we have used is nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. The percentage for sample 1 is nitrogen 4%, phosphorus 1%, and potassium 2%. And the ratio is 4:1:2. For sample 2, we have nitrogen 6%, phosphorus 2%, and potassium 3%. In the last sample, we have used 8% of nitrogen, 3% of phosphorus, and 4% of potassium. The ratio is 8:3:4. For more clearly, you can see below the table on the graph.
I present about a literature review. For this literature review is impact of plant by using liquid chemical fertilizer using Nitrobacter and nitrogen. For the first, can be used as a pH regulating agent of soil acidity. It can also remove or neutralize 95% of 99% soil containing acid without special training. And this fertilizer is very easily absorbed into the roots of the plant and does not take long. And the last, this fertilizer contains 3 elements that can strengthen additional crops with a rapid rate of absorption into the root of the plant. I will present about a conclusion. Okay, the conclusion is today use of fertilizer is seen as a necessary agricultural technology, and there are different types of organic fertilizer that you can buy in at a gardening shop, but instead of buying, we make it. Nitrate oxidation is recognized as an
essential process of biogeochemical nitrogen cycling in agricultural ecosystem. This is result about pH value for soil, and look at the table. The material of soil and the pH value is 7.9, and after 1 week the pH value for soil has at fertilizer is the pH value 7.5, and the soil has no fertilizer is 8.5. Next, I will present about cost this project. And first, urea. Urea we buy the price 2 kg Rm 30 ringgit. Borate of potash 1 kg Rm 6 ringgit. Triple super phosphate Rm 5 ringgit. Vest Rm 5 ringgit. Brown sugar Rm 4 ringgit. Vinegar Rm 5 ringgit. And last, spray bottle 1 kg Rm 20 ringgit. Total this project is Rm 75 ringgit.